Good morning, guys. My name's Hans, and in this video, we're going to be going over a basic pranayama routine that I do either every day, or I'm also going to go over a more advanced version that you can do about once a week or so. And this involves Kapalabhati, Alunam Vilom, which is alternate nostril breathing, and Bhastrika, which is breath of fire. So as a prerequisite to get started, you want to do this on an empty stomach. So you need to wait about 3 hours from the last time you had any food, or 30 minutes from the last time you drank any water. I personally like to do it first thing in the morning. Now, first we're going to talk about Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati means shining skull. This purifies the energy channels, opens up your nose to allow more air to come in, cleans up the mucus in there, and it is a forced exhale using your stomach with a passive inhale. You're not breathing deep into your chest at all. It's only with your stomach. So before you start, you really want to make sure you're breathing properly using your belly. So in an inhale, your belly should come out. Exhale, belly come in. And I'll do a very quick round to just as an example. First, cross your legs. You can do it in a crisscross applesauce, a half lotus, or full lotus as well. But remember, you're going to be sitting in this position for a while, so do whatever is more comfortable for you. I like half lotus. It helps if you put a small pillow just slightly under your butt, so that let me shoot in the camera so you can see, so that your knees are on the ground, and that make sure you're not like leaning towards the side at all, and the knees are firmly on the ground. So now watch my stomach while I do this. First, you need to take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale comfortably, 3/4. Do you see how it's just my stomach moving? So every time you exhale, try to really get all the air out of there, and then just relax on the inhale and let your stomach come out. Once it's out fully, then you can exhale again by contracting the stomach muscles. And you want to do that 30 times for the first round, 30 exhales. Once you've done 30 exhales, you want to empty your lungs all the way completely, fill them completely again, empty them completely, breathing comfortably 3/4 of the way full, and then hold your breath for about 30 seconds. So that is one round of Kapalabhati. That is the basic version that you can do every day. Every day, one round before you move on to the alternate nostril breathing. Or if you're going to do a full set of pranayama, you want to do 3 rounds of Kapalabhati, with increasing the number of exhales, as well as increasing the length of the breath retention, or kumbhaka, each time. So for the first round, you might just do 30 exhales with a 30-second breath hold at the end. For the second round, you could do 45 exhales with a minute-long breath hold. And then for the third round, you could do somewhere between 60 and 100 exhales, and then hold your breath for as long as you can comfortably. Should be about 1.5 to 2 minutes. You'll be able to increase that number and get used to holding your breath the longer you do this. And that would be a full set of Kapalabhati. While you're sitting there in the breath hold, really feel the energy in your body. Feel that sun energy in your abdomen activate in the Manipuri chakra. Really feel that energy flowing to the top of the head. This practice means shining skull. You're gonna feel buzzing in your head, cleansing feeling, light energy in your head, pulsating in your third eye, and sit with it, enjoy it, feel that joy and bliss and peace. Now let's move on to Anulom Vilom. This is alternate nostril breathing. So first, bend your left arm and chin mudra. That's to complete the circuit. Put it on your knee. Right hand, bend your pointer and middle finger to make it look like this. You can sit in crisscross, applesauce, half lotus, full lotus. Take your right thumb, put it on your right nostril, empty your breath. Before you do that, then inhale 4 seconds into the left. Hold for 16 seconds. Then exhale 8 seconds out the right. Make sure your back is straight while you're doing this. Inhale 4 seconds into the right while closing the left nostril. Hold for 16 seconds. Exhale 8 seconds out the left. Again, that's one round of alternate nostril breathing. So it's 4 seconds left, 16 seconds hold, 8 seconds out the right, 4 seconds into the right, 16 seconds hold, 8 seconds out the left. You want to do this as a daily practice, maybe just 5 to 8 times, 8 rounds. But if you're doing a full pranayama routine, you're going to want to do 3 rounds of Bhastrika and then about 20-25 rounds of alternate nostril breathing. The alternate nostril breathing alone should take about 20 minutes. And the ratio of breath is 1 inhale, 4 hold, 2 exhale. So that's the ratio. So instead of doing 4, 16, 8, you could do 5, 20, 10. And you can increase that number as you see fit for what's comfortable for your body. Now, let's go over Bhastrika. Bhastrika has many advanced variations. One second. Actually, before we go over Bhastrika, I forgot to mention during alternate nostril breathing, one thing you can do when thinking of the subtle body, the energy in the chakras, every time you breathe in through a nostril, you can feel that energy filling up that side of the body. As you exhale out of a nostril, you can feel that energy reverberating out. Alternate nostril breathing is a kriya for cleansing, cleanses the nadis in the body, balances the right and left halves of the body, the male and female half, that energy, and prepares you for the more advanced practices like Bhastrika, which I'm about to get into now. So Bhastrika is the breath of fire. There's a reason it's called that. The first time you do this practice, it might feel like your breath is fiery or kind of like spearminty and that feeling will last about a week until you get used to it, and it feels pretty cool. This Bhastrika practice is used to awaken the Kundalini energy, rise up the spine, purifying all the chakras in that spirit fire till it reaches your heart, where it bursts into an ocean of divine love and moves up to the third eye, opens up the crown, and you feel states of divine bliss, basically. There's many different variations of Bhastrika. There's beginner's variations, intermediate, and super advanced. super advanced variations involve full body mudras and different bandhas or locks, which I'm going to teach you in this video as well, to seal that energy within the body and not let it leak out. But in this video, I'm going to be going over mainly just beginners and intermediate Bhastrika. Advanced Bhastrika is not for YouTube. It should be taught in person by a teacher that can correct any mistakes you're making, because if you're making a mistake, instead of getting benefits, not only will you not get the benefit, but you'll also harm yourself and feel very uncomfortable. Trust me, I've done it before. So for now, we're just gonna go over intermediate and beginner's Bhastrika. In this exercise, it's a active exhale and an active inhale. Whereas Kapalabhati, what we were doing before, was just an active exhale with a passive inhale. With Kapalabhati, you're only using your stomach. With this practice, you're using your full chest as well, while it being active and active inhale and active exhale. So we're gonna do 10 inhale exhales and then hold our breath, and that's one round. Hold your breath for about 30 seconds. And for the beginner's version, it could look like this. You can put your hands in this mudra where you touch your thumbs to the pad of your pinky. Go like that, or just hold your knees like this with the pillow slightly under your buttocks. Now, and fill your lungs all the way. Empty your lungs all the way. Now, can you even use your arms? Do that 10 times. Exhale completely. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. Inhale comfortably, 3/4 or maybe even 85% of the way. Now hold your breath for 30 seconds at least, or as long as you can comfortably. So that's beginner's Bhastrika. You can tell I wasn't putting much effort into the inhales and the exhales. It was very calm and enjoyable, and you'll notice yourself filling with energy, feeling those vibrations reverberating from the body, especially during the breath hold, the Kumbhaka, following the Bhastrika. Again, like I said, you could use your arms. Exhale, inhale, exhale. That can help in the beginning when you're first learning. Now, we're gonna do a more advanced variation. I would say this is an intermediate version of Bhastrika. For the intermediate version, you're gonna wanna do 10 to 12 exhale and inhales, followed by a retention of anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half, or just as long as you can hold it comfortably. But before we get into that, we need to learn the bandhas or locks. These are muscle contractions that prevent the energy in your subtle body or your chakras from flowing outwards. So the first one is the bandha called the Mula Bandha. This is in your root chakra, and it's a muscle contraction that involves the perineum, which is the space between the anus and the testicles. And you're going to want to contract the perineum, kind of like when you're peeing and you stop your pee midstream. You can contract that muscle. You can contract the anus, the sphincter, and if you want, some people also prefer to contract the genital muscles as well, but you don't have to. Just make sure you're doing at least the perineum and sphincter, or you can do all three. And that's the Mula Bandha, and that prevents the energy from flowing out into the earth. and allows it to flow upwards. The next one is the Uddiyana Bandha. This is a muscle contraction involving your stomach. This is why you want to be on an empty stomach, where you suck it in and up. Do you see that cavity I'm making? Do it from this side. And then up. That allows the Kundalini energy to flow further up the spine, into the chest and the throat. From here, we're going to do the Jalandhar Bandha, which is a contraction of the throat. But instead of moving your head like this all the way down, you're going to want to just tuck the chin, tuck it down like that. That's the Jalandhar Bandha. That contraction prevents the energy from flowing up and out of the head. Keeps it in your Manipura chakra. This is the storehouse of prana in the body, or life force energy, which comes from the sun, feeds energy to the plants through photosynthesis. That energy from the sun, they make oxygen with it into the air, you breathe that in, store it in this chakra in terms of the energy in the subtle body. Now, we're going to want to do all three bandhas together first before we do the intermediate version of Bhastrika, because at the end, while we're holding the breath, we're going to do 2 different types of breath holds that involve all three bandhas simultaneously. After our exhales and inhales, we're going to do a breath hold without any breath in the lungs, with all the bandhas. No breath. And then we're going to inhale deeply through the right nostril, as deep as we can, hold it, and then do all the bandhas with our lungs full. So practice that really quick. All the different bandhas, practice them on their own, and then practice them all together to prepare for doing the Bhastrika. Now, the prerequisite before doing intermediate or advanced Bhastrika, advanced I'm not getting into in this video, like I said, is that you're going to need to do 3 rounds of Kapalabhati, the shining skull, about 20 minutes of Anulom Vilom, alternate nostril breathing, before you start this pranayama practice. These two, the Kapalabhati and alternate nostril breathing, purify the body and the energy channels, getting it ready for Bhastrika, which increases the amount of prana in the body and awakens the Kundalini. So, again, say crisscross applesauce, half lotus, or full lotus if you choose. Just whatever's comfortable that you can hold for a period of time. Butt under the pillow. Again, you can keep your hands just on your knees, or put your thumbs on your pinky pad, hold it like this. And for this one, it's going to be a much more forced inhale and exhale than we did in the beginner's Bhastrika. So, breathe in all the way. Exhale completely. Breathe in comfortably. Exhale completely. Now. You can see how much more intensely I'm breathing and exhaling. You're going to want to do that 10 times. Breathing completely, exhale completely. Now do all 3 bandhas. First, the Mula Bandha, then the Uddiyana Bandha, then the Jalandhar Bandha, with no air in your lungs. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Lift up your head, undo the Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha, and then breathe in completely through the right nostril. Hold for 30 seconds to a minute and a half, with all bandhas locked, with lungs full. Focus your point of attention on the root chakra. Feel fire there. Feel that energy. Feel that joy, the energy reverberating. You might feel a burning sensation, and then notice how that energy begins to move up the spine. That pranic fire purifying all the chakras, energizing them. Then once you've held it for 30 seconds to a minute and a half, exhale, or as long as you can comfortably, exhale through the left nostril completely. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. Now breathe normally. So you're gonna wanna do that variation of Bhastrika for 3 rounds. Remember, each round should have 10 inhale exhales or 12, but don't overdo this exercise, especially in the beginning, or you can get dizzy, feeling comfortable. Just take it easy and ease yourself into it. Now, if you guys have any questions about this basic pranayama routine, put it in the comments below. I'll try to get to every single comment and every single question. Make sure I answer those. I look forward to putting on some more advanced, different types of full body mudras and ways to lock the prana in the body in the future. I'm gonna go over different types of hatha yoga as well to do after pranayama, or you could do it before your pranayama. So the point of doing pranayama in the first place is that you can enter deep states of meditation. Once you've done the 3 rounds of Kapalabhati, 20 minutes of alternate nostril breathing, and 3 rounds of Bhastrika, you can enter a meditative state called Kevala Kumbhaka. This I did not include in my meditation video because this is only for more advanced practitioners after you've done a full set of pranayama. Kevala Kumbhaka, you might notice the word Kumbhaka in there means breath retention. You're not retaining the breath purposefully in this type of meditation. First, take one of your legs, put it on the perineum, the muscle we were contracting during Mula Bandha, the heel. Keep a pillow slightly under your butt. Take your other foot, open up this thigh muscle, tuck your foot into that fold of the legs, open up your calf a little bit, really tuck it in there. Now, this is Siddhasana. This is the king of meditative mudras. Sit like this, hands in chin mudra. This allows you to awaken that kundalini energy. Draw that sexual spirit energy up the spine. And this Kevala Kumbhaka involves just sitting in a thoughtless state. You know how most meditation videos tell you to focus on your breath? In this meditative state, you don't need to focus on the breath because you've activated the subtle body of the chakras, the energy. So instead of focusing on the breath, you can focus on the life force energy that makes your body breathe on its own. Let me say that again. You're not focusing on the breath, but the energy that gives life to your body and makes it breathe on its own without you forcing your body to breathe. So you can sit, maybe to start, you could focus on the tip of your nose and let your body breathe on its own. Now put your attention towards your heart chakra, not the physical heart, but the energy there, and allow your body to breathe on its own. It should be, don't try to force the inhales or exhales, just let it happen. It should be about a half a second or a quarter of a second inhale, half a second, quarter of a second exhale. You're breathing so barely that no one around you should even notice, really. And in that state, just feel the divine love like an ocean of waves inside your heart. With every inhale, you feel it filling your heart with love. Every exhale, you feel it crashing like a wave. Maybe not crashing like a wave, but you can just feel the love energy moving like this as you breathe, inhale and exhale. You can either stay in that meditative state for as long as you choose, or just do it for about 5 minutes and then begin your yogic practice with the different asanas, the sun salutation, the 12 basic yoga postures like headstand, neck stand, fish pose, head to knee, cobra, locust, bow pose, spinal twist. You could do crow, peacock, and then bend side to side, and then do corpse pose, rest. So that was a video explaining basic pranayama routine practice. For a daily routine, I just typically do 1 round of Kapalabhati and 5 to 8 rounds of alternate nostril breathing, and then maybe once or twice a week, or just whenever I feel like it, I'll do the full routine of 3 rounds Kapalabhati, 20 minutes alternate nostril breathing, 3 rounds of Bhastrika, before I go into meditation and then the yogic exercises. And then after I do all my yogic practices, the sun salutation, Surya Namaskar, the 12 basic postures, asanas, I'll do Kevala Kumbhaka again and meditate for as long as I choose and stay in that state of bliss for as long as I want afterwards. And again, all this on an empty stomach. Sometimes after the pranayama, I'll drink water before I start doing the other yogic exercises. Now, I hope this video helps you guys. Next one to come out is going over Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation, and the different asanas or postures. Hope this helps you guys. Remember just to take it slow and easy if you're a beginner and work your way up. You don't want to force yourself to feel uncomfortable or anything from doing too much pranayama in the beginning when you haven't purified the energy channels yet. Before moving on to the advanced pranayama, you're going to want to have quit all your addictions first. No drugs, alcohol, caffeine even. Quit smoking. Eat much less meat than normal people do, and eat much more fruit than normal people do before moving on to the advanced practices. Once you're ready, find a teacher in person to teach you the advanced variations. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Peace.